Hi everyone, it's Laura here from makingcardsisfun.com and welcome to another card making video tutorial here on my YouTube channel and blog. In today's video, I'll be creating a rainbow birthday reveal wheel card featuring Fawn and Mama Elephant goodies. I'm going to start out by die cutting the card front of my reveal wheel once out of Nina Solar White 110-pound cardstock. And then I am lining up the big stamp from the Birthday Bash stamp set from Mama Elephant. I'm using my Misty tool and then I am inking that stamp up using Memento Tuxedo black ink. The reason why I die cut the reveal wheel card front is because I wanted my stitched edges to line up with the finished reveal wheel card. So there you go. So I'm stamping my stamp with the Memento Tuxedo black ink, and next I'm using my Copic sketch markers to color all of these images. For the little chick, I'm using Y19, Y18, and Y13. Then I'm using Y04 and Y000 to color the little stars on top of their party hats. For my cat, I'm using YR27, YR24, and YR21. And red cats are my favorite of all times. Ever since I was little, I loved red cats, so obviously I love to use these shades of Copic markers to color cats on my cards. For the mouse, I'm using N4, N3, and N1. And then for the cake, I am using E27, E57, and E55 since I wanted this cake to be chocolate flavored. This is a really big stamp, so it requires a lot of coloring and a lot of time. I spent about an hour, maybe even more, on coloring this entire piece. For the frosting on my cake, I'm using RV02, RV10, and RV0000 for some nice pinkish or some really soft pastel colored frosting or icing. For some of the gifts, I'm using R24, R22, and R20. I'm going to be using a little bit of a coral color on this card instead of the typical red that I use. Then of course I'm also using BG13, BG32, and BG11 since that's my favorite Copic color combination ever. So I'm just always using 3 colors. I'm starting out with my lightest shade, then using the darkest shade for my first layer of shading. Then I'm blending that out with my mid-tone color, and finally I go back in with the lightest color to blend everything together and to add a little bit of highlight. I'm also using a white gel pen to add some dots here and there since I think that really kind of finishes up these images. For the green, I'm using YG09, YG06, and YG03. And for that yellow, I used Y38, Y35, and Y32. For the orange, I'm using YR09, YR04, and YR02. There you go. So I actually used some colors that I normally don't use very often. So I normally don't really use the coral combo a lot. I also tend to kind of avoid oranges and yellows on my cards. I like to stick to turquoise and pink, sometimes a little bit of purple, but mainly pink and turquoise. For that little bunny, I'm using E33, E31, and E30. There you go. Now that I've finished coloring this image, it's time to use the coordinating die to die cut it. So I'm running that through my die cutting machine. And next I'm going to build my reveal wheel cards. I'm starting out with the card front, and then I clicked in that little window over here. This is the new rectangle add-on from Fawn for the reveal wheel. I'm using some pattern paper from their Spiffy Speckles paper pad. And this is actually my second paper pad of the Spiffy Speckles one since I just use those papers so much. I also die cut the largest rectangle from the stitched rectangles die cut set from Fawn using their really rainbow 6x6 paper pad. I used the scalloped frame from the square reveal wheel add-on, and then I die cut the wheel base and then the main wheel. To stamp my sentiments for my reveal wheel, I'm using this little template, so I'm just taping that down with washi tape, and then I can stamp my sentiments on there. These little sentiments are from the Love Poems stamp set from Fawn, which is from their brand new Valentine 2020 release. I'm cleaning my stamp using my Fawn stamp chamois, and I'm using this really fun case from MakeItByMarko. And these are 3D printed cases, and this will actually keep your chamois damp for about a day and a half, so you don't constantly have to go back to the sink to add water to it. So it's time to finish this reveal wheel piece. So I'm just putting a brad through the back of the wheel base, and then I'm taking the main wheel, putting my brad through, and then I'm going to close that up. By the way, I also did a review on the MakeItByMarko organizers and holders, so make sure to check that out in case you're interested. I'm applying some foam squares around the brad, and then I am lining that up until I don't see those squirt lines anymore. There you go, so just lining that up, and then you have your reveal wheel base. I'm using this Fawn glue pen to adhere the little scalloped frame around my square. I'm going to line that up with my tweezers, and I use the same pattern paper that I'll be using to finish off the card in the paper that I'm using on the card base. Then I'm going to stamp one more sentiment above that square that says just a little note to say. Then I'm going to apply some foam squares all around the scalloped wheel. Make sure your foam squares don't touch the wheel because that would just mess up your entire reveal wheel card. And now I can perfectly line up my colored image since I die cut that using the reveal wheel card base back in the beginning of this video. I'm using a Spectrum Noir shimmer pen to apply some glitter here and there. And of course, I'm also going in with the Tonic Nuvo crystal glaze to add a little bit of extra dimension and shine to this entire card. I think that applying the Tonic Nuvo crystal glaze along with the Spectrum Noir shimmer pen just really makes a difference on your cards because it adds just so much sparkle and shininess, and I really love that. I'm stamping one more sentiment over there that says turn me so that the recipient knows to turn the wheel. And then finally I am adhering a large stitched rectangle on a standard size A2 note card. So the finished card measures 4 1/4 of an inch by 5 1/2. I'm using these adorable little enamel hearts from Doodlebug, using 2 of them in green. And then I'm also going in with some clear sequins. I'm adhering them using the Fawn glue pen. And of course, I'm also going to go ahead and apply some White Blizzard glitter drops from Tonic Studios. And I'm using one of these MakeItByMarko holders to hold my little bottle of Tonic Nuvo glitter drops. So there you go, that finishes up this card. So the finished card says just a little note to say happy birthday to you. I made this card especially for you. I think that's simply adorable, and Fawn did such a great job at developing these dies. I just love to use them. So there you go, that finishes up this card. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and click the notification bell below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye bye!